What is up there, misfits? Welcome to Pages of Ascension. My name is Tia. Welcome back if you've been hanging out with me for a little while. This is going to be a reading for Aries season. This particular one is for our cardinal signs. So that is Aries. Hey, I had to. Okay, so Aries, Cancer, Libra, and Capricorn. Okay, so please keep in mind this reading may or may not resonate for you, but it may resonate if you have Aries, Cancer, Libra, or Capricorn in your chart, or you are working on one of those houses in your life right now that is represented traditionally by that particular sign. Okay, so you would need to know the placements in your chart for that. I suggest heading to astro.com. That's my place. I actually pay for subscriptions over there sometimes, so that's usually my go-to to refer people who want to look at their own chart and stuff. But yes, happy birthday, Aries. Happy birthday, us. So yes, I am in Aries. Very, very proud Aries first house. Third deacon, thank you very much. And I am very happy to be back in fire energy, let me tell you. Even having Pisces in my chart, Pisces season was tough. So yeah, so I'm going to go ahead and pull your numerology card here, and that's going to let us know the theme, basically, for this season for you. Okay, cardinal signs. Oh, there we go. And I've already pulled the message to you from Spirit and the lesson of this season for you, and I will flip those over accordingly within the reading. Okay, so we've got self-discipline. Number 41. So I gotta say, 5s and 7s have been, and by the way, that's not smoke. That's smoke, not a bunch of different ghosts like chilling through the middle of my camera right now. I'm burning some black copal because it's bomb.com. Anyways, so as I was saying, 5s and 7s have been a little bit of a theme for you on the readings on Pages of Ascension for this particular month. So for those of you that have been following me for a while, you know I say 5s to me are just conflict. They're just flat out conflict, and I consider 7s to be divinely guided change. They're both change, it's just one is a change of conflict and one is a change because the divine said so. So we'll see what else comes out in your reading. Bear with me, this particular spread has 7 cards, so it takes a moment for all of those to come out. But as soon as they do, we will get started. So yeah, I hope everybody's doing okay, keeping themselves safe and their families safe. I do have to give the disclaimer and just say, because I do pull from collective energy, with the state of everything that's going on, I can't guarantee that my readings won't have anything to do with the pandemic that's going on right now. That's just not realistic. I'm a very sensitive empath. I was picking this shit up before we even knew about it. But you know, there are other themes that are still present in, you know, people's lives, whether that's has to do with money and work, or it has to do with, you know, love and relationships, trying to get those straight, or even just your spiritual growth in general. So expect a lot of these same themes to come out for you in my readings from here on out, but recognize that there might be a tone or triggers because of this virus that is coming out. And if I see that, I will say that. But yeah, I just want to give that disclaimer. You know, it's hard enough to do general readings for the collective anyway, but when we're in this type of energy, it's that much more difficult. So like, I don't want to give y'all the impression that I'm trying to pretend everything is peachy fucking keen, because it's not right now. Okay, there is reason for concern, not panic, but concern. So like I said, those elements may come out in the readings. I just want to give that heads up, you know. I'll figure out some type of reading to do so we can get a little bit of comedic relief too. I don't know about y'all, I need some comedic relief, yo. I'm just saying. There. Oop, that one. Okay. Okay, so we've got control. This is the King of Swords in this particular deck. So that's interesting. Let's look at what we've got here. So we've got the Seven of Pentacles, which is patience in this deck. And then we have courage, which is strength. Then we have Nine of Swords, quite literally in the same position as our fixed tribe had it. And then let's see here. Our tipping point is trust. I swear to you, this is a freaking theme. Some element of this has come out in every single reading. Wow. Okay, we'll get more into it. So the next card is conditioning. This is actually the Devil card in this particular deck. And I'll get into that a little bit, why I feel like that's very telling coming out. And then we've got guilt. Okay, that's going to be the Eight of Swords in traditional tarot. And then we've got possibilities. That's a Two of Wands in traditional tarot. So let me marinate for here just a quick minute. And I will dig in. Patience, trust, patience, trust. They're the two biggest themes throughout all of these readings. I might just have to do an ether reading as well to figure out more collectively speaking what this reading or what these energies are about specifically. But in any case, I'm getting the same thing of decision in your reading as well. So, like, this is actually the Page of Cups in traditional tarot. And I feel like for at least some of you cardinal signs, there's some type of decision that you're trying to make about where to go or what to do, like what opportunities and possibilities that you have now being in the position that you're in. And there's definitely some grief going on, and I feel like a lot of this grief and anxiety or sorrow and guilt as they're portrayed in here have a lot to do with the fact that you're not trusting. You're not trusting in the universe. You're not trusting in your ability to overcome blockages that you feel might be put in your path. And the thing is, I'm not actually seeing any blockages. I'm just seeing that it's like as if you're baking a pie and you're sitting there watching the fucking pie cook, asking if it's done yet. It's not done yet. Okay? It's not ripe yet. It's not ready to pick yet. Who was I telling the same thing? I don't know if that was the midweek that I just did this past week, or if it was in either one of the staircase readings. But I feel like if y'all were to watch any other reading by me right now, you specifically should look at Up the Staircase, because this feels a lot like, you see this portal here? It's like, I feel like this portal is opening and you're getting ready to jump through it, and that's jumping into mission. But there's grief and even some degree of guilt over the fact that you have these options, because it's almost like you've got some type of options in what you can do that other people around you don't. It's also like, I'm picking up a couple of different things here. So on one end, with this conditioning card, it's like, which is the Devil card, it's a really interesting portrayal of the Devil card, because if you look at the lion here, the lion has a lamb strapped to its back, but the lion isn't tearing. It's surrounded by lambs, actually. But it's like someone who's repressing their true nature as in an effort to appease other people. That's what this feels like. And it's like there's grief and guilt over this because you feel like you're not being true to yourself. Part of you feels like with these opportunities that you don't have enough self-discipline in order to actually meet the requirements that you need to in order to take advantage of these possibilities. Like, there's just not enough control in your world, and what you're being asked to do right now is trust. Okay? So I keep coming back to this card right here. So you do have 2 sevens, 3 sevens, sevens. So even though we do have this 5 here kind of running kind of like the primary energy of your reading, if you will. Oh, and 2 8s. There we go. Okay, so 7s and 8s are very prominent for you, I feel like, for Aries season. 7s more specifically. I feel like you have a lot of divinely guided change that's coming towards you. It's just necessary for you to trust and wait for the divine to deliver. You know, part of it requires you in making your choice and then having patience and having trust and having the self-discipline for it to come through, okay? But this patience card tells me that this is either like a project or something that you've been working on for quite some time. It could possibly be that, you know, you are actually about to give birth, okay? And there's some concern that, you know, that you can't break certain bad habits that you've had or certain thought forms that you've had, or there's some type of guilt that you have about something that might have happened during this pregnancy, or you know, there's grief here. But yeah, you trust. Just trust, like, I mean, the sorrow combined with the courage, I mean, it almost speaks to just a tiny bit of fear that's going on for whoever this is resonating with. Things are definitely going to be different for you, but like, you've got so many more options than you realize. So let's go ahead and look into our clarifiers so I can get a little bit more information here. And before I do that, I've done that all 3 videos now. Let's go ahead and look at what the message Spirit is trying to get through to you, like the primary message. And the primary message is the magic zone, which is a number 7. It's another 7, excuse me. 4 plus 3 equals 7. So it says the exhilaration of discombobulation. So again, there's lots changing for you right now. This is actually a very magical time period for you if you can harness it and practice the self-discipline necessary to get through and do the things that you need to, and let go of the guilt. Like, I don't know what it is that's causing this guilt. It feels like it's some type of habit or thought form that you have that maybe you're having trouble getting rid of, or maybe you're feeling guilty about the fact that you still participate in this habit, and maybe that's possibly your blockage of seeing the possibilities that you have in front of you. But yeah, let's look. So I want to look at the trust card for sure. And then I want to look at the conditioning card, because this is a very, this is a big time of change for you, Cardinal signs. And you're not getting anything as crazy as the Tower like our Mutable signs did, which was really shocking that came up. But I feel like it's a similar energy signature. So I want to see what's going on there. You might be the person instituting the change. Especially because Cancer came up in that reading. Choice. I'll be damned. It's the Fool. Trust in new beginnings. Okay? Trust that you have a choice and that you're capable of making the correct choice for you, for your life, for your family. Okay? Perception. I'll be damned. These are like the same cards coming out, y'all. Okay, so that's 3 of Cups, DNA activation, and then the Youth. So this is page energy for me. It's like in the traditional tarot, if you were to combine all of the pages together, all of that page energy together, that would be this card for me in this deck. It's like how all the kings equal the emperor and all the queens equal the empress. For me, in this particular deck, Dreams of Gaia, all the pages equal this particular energy. It's like you've mastered, or you've come into mastery of the beginnings of something, and you haven't quite moved on to the next step because, again, there's a shift in your perception that's needed. Okay? In the perception of the choices that you have. Okay? But I feel like you're being activated, but you're still in that page energy. So you've got multiple choices in front of you. It's just a matter of making a decision and trusting that it's the right one. I feel like specifically the one that's going to require the most self-discipline is the one that you need to be looking after, because it's going to help you break whatever conditioning that it is that you have been holding on to. But let's go ahead and actually look at this Devil card and see what this is about. We can get more info. Okay, you got literally the Two of Wands again. This is the same card. This is the same energy. And then we've got intuition and integrity. So, I don't know what project that this is that you're on, whatever it is that you're about to give birth to, but you're being impressed upon and reminded by the divine to not just follow your intuition, but follow your true north, follow your integrity. Make sure you stay in integrity with whatever it is that you're doing, however you're going about it, okay? It goes to show not just because, well, it's like the right thing to do to fight this conditioning. Of course, that would make sense. Okay, so whatever it is, this project that you're trying to hop into, whatever this choice is, the reason it's landing on this Devil card is because it's the option of how you go about getting there. So, like, this reminds me, and I'm just going to use a quick example because it's what's coming to my mind. I'm not knocking anybody. What you do is your choice. But it reminds me of, like, people who buy their followings on social media, for example. It's like it takes a lot of time and a lot of effort to build an actual, like, legit and faithful social media following. Even on YouTube, it'd be easy enough to do either certain types of readings or use certain types of words or use, like, clickbait titles and stuff to get my videos watched, but I don't do that because I don't feel it's ethical. You know what I mean? And so I feel like for you, it's very similar to that. You're at a crossroads in which the path that you take can either be one of integrity or it can be one of conditioning. Okay? And it's your choice how you go about that. And the guilt, recognizing the guilt that you'll have if you go in one particular route, but also the sorrow that you'll have if you take the other. It's almost like a rock and a hard place energy. No matter which way you go, you're running into this issue, this progression of conflicting mental energy, okay, due to this choice, whatever this choice is. So actually, I want to look into that because it's coming up so much. So what is this choice? What is the possibility? Excuse me. Okay. Two of Pentacles. Whew, okay, that is Five of Cups. King of Water. This, you know what? I feel like for some of you, this is like grief over unexpressed emotions. Honestly. Guilt over unexpressed emotions. Following the conditioning of not saying anything and just being, remaining in a state of observation instead of action. That's kind of what this is feeling like. I don't know that it necessarily has to do with love. It very well could, but it this is feeling a lot more like a project of some sort. This doesn't even feel like work. It feels like a personal project. Maybe is something in entrepreneurship. You're trying to decide between two businesses or two business ideas, plans, or whatnot, and there's benefits and non-benefits to each one. But there's something that you're not saying. That's why there's, like, if you're in the process of right now of, like, 1 minute you're fine and then the next time, like, you're breaking down in tears for, like, no well apparent reason, and this is, going beyond someone who might have, like, a mental health issue, in which that is something that they do. I feel like this is your subconscious trying to get through to you that there's something that you need to reconcile. Okay? And it's something that's going to take self-discipline to get over. It feels like a project, a habit of some sort. That's really kind of what I'm getting from that. Okay? Yeah, and that's all I'm getting from that. So let's go ahead and look at what your lesson is for the period of Aries season, and it is happiness. That's interesting. It says, I'm aware that being happy means that I am on the right path. So, I feel like for some of you, that's a cue right there. Like, if whatever situation that you're in, whatever project that you're in, where you feel like your perception is kind of being warped and you can't quite see where to go next, it's necessary for you to trust. Once you let go of this burden, these burdens, okay, this conditioning, like, I feel like happiness will be a little easier for you to come by, and you'll stop feeling like it's eluding you. It's not eluding you now. Like, the issue I feel like you're going through right now is that you're mentally stuck, but you're mentally stuck because you're putting yourself there. Because you're not trusting, not because you're not capable, not because, like, you're in a state of constantly wanting to be miserable. I feel like your happiness is being affected by your mental process, by your thought process. And you are in a magical time of manifestation right now, but you need to have the self-discipline and the trust of the intuition and your higher self to lead you to where you're trying to go. Okay? So, with that said, I'm going to go ahead and call it here. I hope that you found this helpful, Cardinal signs. If you did, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. I appreciate it. It gives me inspiration and it really helps the channel. And of course, if it resonated and you feel so inclined, you want to share, go ahead and comment down below. I do actually read all of my comments. I respond to all of the comments that I see. So, with that, I have so much gratitude for each and every one of you. Please keep yourselves safe out there. Okay? And remember that your peace is your power, so you let nothing destroy that. Okay? Bye.